You can't make this up.
Now, Molly Wright is the insufferable woman with the camera filming a cop who was at the time making an arrest right outside of her apartment. Now, she heard someone screaming, so she went to document it. Now, the difference between someone like her and me, because I would document this as well, is that she's doing it, certainly seems, from a perspective of hating cops and wanting to catch them doing something bad so she could run to Cairo 7 TV or King 5 or Como or whomever and complain about police brutality.
If we don't hold them accountable, nobody's going to hold them accountable.
So you have a distrust of the police?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Think we know where she stands. So she wasn't merely documenting. And the second I heard, before I even saw the incident on body camera footage, because that's what recorded it, I knew this was going to be a case of someone interfering with the police work. I felt it. I felt it. And that's precisely what this was. She wasn't there just documenting. She was there getting in the way. And she was warned not to get in the way. And yet, she did not listen. Here is how it at least started.
Can I help you? Okay. Can you please step back?
No.
Or you'll be arrested for obstructing.
Yeah,
I cannot do my job with you video recording me right next to my car.
Good luck. Obstruction requires a physical act.
You're physically obstructing me.
No, I'm not.
I cannot continue my investigation with you coming up to my car.
Call your sergeant.
God. You can already tell the kind of person she is. You know, do you have any siblings?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, young, 8 or 9, whoever it was, sister, brother, everyone at home knows what I'm about to say, puts like their hand right in front of your face. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Mom, she won't get out of my face. I'm not touching you. That's basically what she just did, but as an insufferable adult who's looking to go after cops. And I love the fact that she said, oh, good luck. Oh yeah, well, he arrested you. Good luck. And she probably wanted that reaction. I'm sure the officer now is just really upset with himself because she probably wanted this reaction so she could, in fact, sue, because this just plays into her hatred of cops. Here she is getting detained.
Please step away, ma'am.
I am away.
You can stand over there on the curb.
There is no distance, and you don't have tape up.
You can stand over the curb.
There is no tape up.
I don't have a cover. You can stand over there.
You're fine. I ain't going to hurt you. Not even armed.
Okay. Yes, you are. You got a knife.
Okay, that part's kind of important, yeah?
A little bit.
Okay. I'm not armed. What is that knife? I am armed. Okay.
Behind your back.
Call your sergeant.
I'll take cover.
Let me put this out. I'm trying to put this thing out.
You can put it on the ground. Put it on the ground or I'll put you on the ground.
Just
ma'am, stop.
Just let me. Thank you. Call your sergeant.
Well, you have an deputy chief coming here. Drop it.
Ugh. So she's suing. She gets arrested for obstructing an officer. What state do we live in?
Washington.
Do you think it was charged?
No.
No. Cairo 7 got a statement from the Everett PD who are standing with him, rightly so. They said members of the public, including media representatives, have an unambiguous First Amendment right to record officers in public places, as long as their actions do not interfere with the officer's duties or the safety of officers or others. This is pretty standard. And if she's doing the version of, I'm not touching you with your hand like an inch in front of a face, that's interfering. Oh, well, I have to get physical for an obstruction. You physically standing there is the obstruction. Do you not understand that? She does. And of course, she's playing victim. She's the victim here. She's mad. She's going to hold him accountable.
Angry at the situation, angry that there's a person out there that thinks that they can have control over another person. Yeah, sure. Pretty angry about that.
Yeah. I cannot stand people like this who do such a disservice to not just policing, just in a general sense. She does a disservice to people who actually do get in situations where they're the victim of police overreaction. That certainly has happened before. We're not going to pretend otherwise. There are cases where cops step too far. Their intent might be the right thing for them at the moment. They believe it. Like they don't do it necessarily with nefarious intent, but they make the wrong decision and arrest someone, for example. But this isn't that. Not based on the video. Not based on the video, but I fear that because her case was dismissed by a judge who, guarantee you, if we looked into the judge, we would find a soft on crime laundry list of cases that the judge looked over. This is someone who had an agenda. And you could tell from the beginning. And I guarantee, this is just going to encourage others to do exactly that. When she had her case dismissed, how much do you want to bet? She said, ooh, now I know that the court's on my side, and I'm going to go after this dirty cop. You thought he was a dirty cop the second you saw him because he was in a uniform. That's what this story feels like to me. And as much as I understand why Cairo 7 TV put this on air, right? It is a story. I get it. They spent an awful lot of time with her. And not that they were defending her, but they gave her a lot of space. And I don't know if that was intentional to get people to side with her or to get her to hang herself. I'm kind of on the fence. Because on the one hand, I can make the argument by giving her so much time and the way it was framed, I can say, well, I think it kind of leaned into her side of things. But then she did say a lot of crazy things that made me realize who she was. So I'm on the fence.
Do you think anybody's mind was changed by what she said, though? I feel like your opinion was what it was before you heard the story. Somebody on the other side who's defending her probably was going to be with her regardless of what she said, you know?
Yes. If someone already hates cops and would basically act the way she did, they still hated cops. There's no one here who was on the fence about police brutality or police overstepping boundaries, said, oh, this was the straw. This was the straw for me. See that camel over there and its broken back? Yeah, this was it. This case right here. I'm all in. Pigs. Yeah, that probably didn't happen. I just feel bad for this poor cop who has to go through now a lawsuit. And I chances are it ends up getting settled and she'll get some payday, one that she's not, entitled to, in my view, at least based on the video. And believe me, if this was a case where the cop clearly goes too far, I would say he went too far. Because I do think it's important to understand our rights, First Amendment rights, to be able to film these kinds of incidents. But I mean, even if some people think I get special treatment because I'm a member of media and cops love me, which is totally true, I've been told, step back, you're a little too close. You know what I do? I step back because I understand the job that they're doing. What world are we now okay with folks like this just saying, you know what? I know more than you, officer. I know more than you. I'll do what I want to do. You're fine. You can do your job. I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat to you. I'm not armed except for, the weapon that I have on me. But other than that, I'm not armed. Like, this was not a significant viewpoint held by folks a decade ago, right? At some point, things started to shift. There were always people like this, of course, but it feels like there are more people like this than ever before. Now, could that be just me being exposed to it more because of social media and me paying more attention to policing issues than maybe I did a decade ago? Maybe, I guess. But like I said, I recall people like this always existing. It just feels like there are a heck of a lot of these people existing right now. And at some point, they're going to get in the way and someone's going to get seriously hurt. She could have been seriously hurt by this cop because she posed a threat at the time. And she clearly was instigating this, right? Or am I crazy?
No, very clearly. I mean, she had the little camera attachment for her phone. She was ready for this.
This reeks of professional activism. And she got really lucky. Talk about hitting the jackpot. There was something that happened right outside of her apartment. So she didn't even have to go very far. She just walked a few feet down a flight of stairs to go out there and film this guy. And now he's going to deal with this. And I'm sure there's, how long until there's some protest? It's Everett, so probably 50-50. I mean, if this happened in Seattle, there'd be a march right now. March for white ladies Karens. Does this count as a Karen?
Oh, yeah.
Right? This is
that's
a Karen.
like dictionary definition, right?
Well, Karen originally was used only when it was a white lady having to do with racial issues.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know the race of the person he was arresting. You can maybe make some weird Karen thing. Well, no, she would have to be on the side of the cop then at that point, right? No.
All right, you lost me a little bit.
Well, it's confusing.
Well,
I can't keep track of all of
she
these
have
terms.
just stepped back and zoomed in on her phone?
But then she wouldn't have been a victim.
Well, I know that.
No, hold on.
I obviously know
Do you?
that.
Because she wouldn't have then been a victim.
I know.
And what do people love to be?
Victim.
Victims.
They don't like to think logically. She can still get her camera shot. Just step back and zoom in.
Yeah, what is the point of getting that close? You've got a camera that is
none.
perfectly capable of zoom.
Well, if you got your fancy contraption that your phone, your tripod deal or whatever it is, you probably got a nice zoom lens on that iPhone 13.
Yeah. Now, with that said, I'm sure she's a wonderful person who really cares deeply about her community and her heart is in the right place. But I still like the whole, you're armed. No, I'm not. You've got a knife. Is it possible she forgot she was armed at the time? 1-800-465-8770 if you want to send me a text. I am kind of curious because I certainly understand, especially there's a group of conservatives, and I understand this, where they get very hypersensitive to cops telling them to step away or to stop filming something. And there's like this movement of some folks on the right where any interaction they have with a cop, they're filming it the entire time to try to make a point. I get it-ish. I am kind of curious how they view this story. Send me a text, 1-800-465-8770.